If you think you can either be healthy or be enjoying your vacation and all the good foods that come with it, nope, you can actually have both. And in this video, I'm going to share some tips on how you can find balance and stay healthy-ish while still enjoying your vacation and the foods that come with it. Tip number 1, eating blood sugar friendly-ish at least. Meaning, for example, try to have a veggie starter before you have a meal. In many countries that is so easy. For example, in Italy, it's actually very common to have a veggie starter before the actual pasta meal or something. But also, for example, before breakfast, before you're having a croissant or a bagel or cream cheese, you can just have some veggie sticks or berries or something like that. Something with fiber before your carb-rich meal. And that helps balance the blood sugar levels that might otherwise spike. Similarly, coating your carbs always helps. Coating carbs basically just means having carbs with at least protein and or fats. So again, taking a croissant for example, have a croissant with ham and cheese maybe, or along with scrambled eggs, or when you have ice cream, have it maybe after a meal and not when you're already hungry. Even if that feels like you might be, saving calories or something, which should not be your focus when you're on vacation. But even if it is, it's so much more helpful to focus on your blood sugar levels and to trying to keep them stable-ish, because by doing so, you will crave a lot less foods overall, and especially a lot less junk food-ish food. Speaking of helping yourself curb your cravings and only eat junkish foods when you're actually feeling like eating those foods, and you're not only eating them just because you're hungry, make sure you always have healthy snacks at hand. Because when you're walking around through a city or laying on the beach and you don't have anything with you, it is very likely that you're just gonna go to a food stand or, the beach bar or wherever you are and get something that is not so nutritious, which is fine if you want that. But if you're just hungry, it's not really necessary. Plus, if you have snacks with you, you also help yourself to not get too hungry between meals, which again will help you to not overeat, at least not so much, when you're actually having a full meal. And these snacks can be anything that you like that is, kind of nutritious. For example, nuts, veggie sticks, or just, full vegetables if you're lazy like me, or fruits, or boiled eggs, which also do not go bad very easily, and they are so nutritious in so many ways. Maybe beef or turkey jerky if you can find high quality ones, which can be kind of tricky. Or what I also like to do when I'm in a city or a little village, is to go to the local supermarket and maybe get a cup of Greek yogurt or hummus and mini carrots or a piece of local cheese, things like that. And speaking of going to the local supermarket, walk as much as possible. That way, not only you're doing something for your health and also your gut health and your blood sugar levels, but also you're enjoying the place wherever you are better. You can explore, whether it's the city you're at or the beach you're at or the mountains, wherever you are. Walking is amazing in every sense, also on vacation. Speaking of amazing, one amazing way to give yourself a little mini vacation wherever you are for up to 15 minutes a day is LED light therapy, which brings me to today's sponsor, FOREO. FOREO is a Swedish brand that creates high-quality, clinically tested beauty tech devices designed to make self-care simple and effective, including the FAQ 202 LED mask, which is a lightweight wireless mask that loses 8 different wavelengths, including near-infrared, red, and blue light, which have been shown by research to support skin health on multiple levels. Red and near-infrared light help stimulate collagen production and improve skin elasticity, meaning it can help make your skin look younger by reducing fine lines, and it helps to have a smoother, more even complexion. Blue light, on the other hand, targets acne and general inflammation, so it can help calming stressed or reactive skin, which is also especially helpful after you've been traveling and your skin was exposed to changes in climate or water quality and sleep patterns. But also next to these actual skin health benefits, the warmth of the LED lights really feels like a little mini vacation for your face. So I recommend you to check out the FAQ 202 and to do so soon, because currently FOREO is celebrating their birthday, which means they're giving out a lot of discounts. And if you click on the link in my description and use my code MALU35, you get an extra 35% on top of those discounts on almost all products. Happy birthday to FOREO, and thanks for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to New York. So while the primary source of all your nutrients should primarily come from whole foods, especially when you're traveling, it's not always easy or fun to eat very healthy and to, get all the greens that your body needs and all the macronutrients and macronutrients. And what helps with that, especially when you're traveling, not only but especially, is supplementing. For example, especially when you're eating a lot of junkish foods, which might be a bit inflammatory, pro-inflammatory. Something that might help here is, for example, taking omega-3 supplements, as those can have an anti-inflammatory effect. And also maybe take some vitamin C, maybe magnesium, zinc, depending on your body and your needs. And also protein shake. If you have a clean protein shake that you can take with you very easily, having a little bit of protein shake in the morning before breakfast is an awesome way to give your body a good starting amount of protein, which will also help to be less hungry later in the day and to crave a bit less of the shitty stuff. And that way you can, when you do crave, junkish foods, you can just have them. But you know that you are actually in the mood for those foods and you're not just lacking protein. When you can decide between the pancakes and the eggs, have the eggs, or in general, try to start with a savory breakfast, because that helps balancing blood sugar levels and keeping cravings for unhealthy-ish stuff, and especially sweet stuff, a little bit more in check, so that you can actually just eat the sugary and not so healthy stuff later on if you actually want it, and not just because you are having some blood sugar crashes. Similarly, you can eat anything you want outside a restaurant, but if you are trying to watch your calorie intake, just try to watch your portion size. Choose whatever you want from the menu. If it's a very calorie heavy meal and you don't want to overdo the calorie thing, just stop eating before you're absolutely stuffed and ask the waiter for a doggy box. Do you say doggy box? Just take the rest of it home, and then you have lunch the next day, which is also a great Monday saving hack, by the way. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Okay, short explanation why I mentioned this here specifically, because I know you're probably very tired of hearing that you should be drinking your water, but staying hydrated is really important when you're traveling, because first, it helps keeping your hunger in check by first filling up your stomach, but more importantly, because so often we think we're hungry while we're actually just thirsty. Second, because if it's hot where you are, you need a lot more fluid, because you're losing a lot of fluids by sweating. And drinking enough water helps with digestion, hard word, circulation, temperature retention, aka not, melting away, and also with avoiding water retention, aka looking puffy in your face and your body. And third, staying hydrated helps with detoxing from all the maybe not so nutritious foods and drinks that you're having. So the next tip is something I love to do for so many reasons. First, because health. Second, because easy. And third, also because you can save a lot of money by doing this. And it is to do picnics, whether that's for lunch or for dinner. At least if you're doing a summer vacation. I'm not talking about, a ski trip or something, obviously. Although even then you could probably do a soup picnic maybe. But that might be a bit more complicated. But if you are traveling to a warm country, not only does this help you save money, but also what I love is to just go to a local small little store, even the local supermarket, and to get some special foods from the country and do a little picnic. And there you can obviously also choose what you're eating. So you have more control over how much fiber is in there, how much healthy fats, how much protein and stuff. For example, in Italy, what I love to do is just get some fresh vegetables, maybe some fruits, which in Italy just tastes differently than in Germany, and then maybe have a bit of mozzarella or some other cool Italian cheese, and maybe some focaccia, maybe some olives, and that way I have a pretty decent, healthy lunch, which is also very tasty, and it feels like vacation because it's a food from the country that I'm visiting, and it's a lot cheaper than going out to eat all the time. And last but not least, remember to enjoy. Enjoyment is also a form of doing something for your health, even if that means that you're putting tons of sugar and processed foods and maybe some cocktails at the beach into your body. It's absolutely fine to just enjoy yourself sometimes. Always keep the brilliant rule by Pareto in mind, which is that usually, most often, if not always, 80% of the outcome comes from 20% of the input. Meaning, as long as your habits are healthy-ish 80% of the time, you're good to go. Happy vacation and safe travels, and enjoy!